Crucial day in this third Cornhill Test match at Headingley. Welcome to the highlights of the third day, where England started at 7 for no wicket. Australia 401 for 9 declared. The weather conditions, very good. There was perhaps the thought of a shower or two, but the pitch, as far as I was concerned, was the key to this match. I reckon the Australian bowlers this morning and for the rest of the day might get a little bit out of it that the England bowlers hadn't been able to manage. We pick up play now in the second over of the day. There have been 5 extras added to that 7 for no wicket that Gooch and Boycott had put on overnight. It's 12 for no wicket now. Alderman is coming in from the football stand end. He's going to bowl to Graham Gooch, and with me in the commentary box is Tom Graveney. Close, yes. That was a very strange shot to play first ball. He just seemed to be playing it away on the onside, and it looked to me to pitch, well, the very furthest out it could have been was middle and leg. Neatly tucked away there. Lawson two to Boycott. Lawson doing fielding. Touch of relief in the applause there. Local hero. Nesborough, great supporters of Sir Geoffrey Boycott. He's off the mark. Ray Bright doing the fielding.
Had to play it then, I'm sure. Difficult thing to know is just how much it goes in the air. Well, that one went straight through the gate. Actually, that didn't beat him outside. It beat him inside the bat. Just missed the off stump. I think Mike Brearley must have been waiting for the death rattle there, because that's the one that does get you out when it goes through there. And he's out, caught behind. The one that went the other way, and just a little thin edge. And the safe gloves of Rodney Marsh doing the rest. So England's captain goes for 10. And Alderman has got his second wicket. England are 40 for 2. Alderman to Gar. Nice. Solid stroke to get off the mark. Possibility, of course, is that Jeff Lawson, having seen the England bowlers spraying it about, and then Dennis Lillee also spraying it about, might take it into his head to actually bowl at the wicket and let the pitch actually do the damage for him. And he has done exactly that. Jeff Boycott, who's shown signs of being a little discomfited by Lawson's extra pace, falls to him again. And a picture of happiness, Jeff Lawson. What a marvellous start for him. His first over of the morning, and a vital blow to have struck, and England, with the follow-on figure at 202, are in a bit of trouble here, to put it mildly, at 42 for 3.
They're forgetting. Didn't quite time it. Triple Chapel has the chance to cut it off, and it'll be 3 to Mike Gatting. .50 for 3 now. England, half century comes up, 152 to go to avoid the follow-on. 4 slips and 2 gullies waiting there for David Gower. Fine stroke away through mid-wicket. shot. Stroke of the morning. Safe and away over 0.4 more. Certainly not catching, whatever it is. Graham Wood, the man putting that down, which is as straightforward as the one that went to Graham Gooch yesterday. Dennis Lillee off his short run. Didn't even touch the hands, it hit him up on the wrist. Well, that was really tough going for England there in that first session of play on this third day. 78 for 3, and it could have easily been so much worse if that chance had been held. Gatting goes in at 9 not out. Gower is 24 not out. Some handsome strokes played by those two, and it was still Australia very much on top at the luncheon interval. Well, after lunch, we pick up play now in the second over. There are 2 runs added. Gatting has both of them. The score's gone along to 80 for 3. And here's Dennis Lillee now, coming into bowl to Gatting. In the commentary box with Tom Graveney is Christopher Martin-Jenkins.
Well, in the air, but hit very hard indeed, and 4 to Gatting. On the slips from left to right, Dyson at 4th, Alderman at 3rd, Border at 2nd, and Wood at 1st. And that one is down. Very low indeed, but I think nonetheless a chance to John Dyson at 4th slip.
Yeah, I don't think any doubt about that. That definitely carried to Dyson at 1st slip, at 4th.
And a marvellous delivery that by Jeff Lawson. What a wonderful way to come back, having had a catch missed off the previous delivery. He really put everything into that one, and Gower really nonplussed by it. And a fine catch too by Rodney Marsh, because it fairly flew through over his head. Willie off the mark straight away. And he's out. The 5th man to go, pushing forward down the line of the off stump. And he is frequently LBW Mike Gatting, and he's gone that way again. Dennis Lillee fooling him with that one.
Safely away for 4. Good shot. It was in the air for about 20 yards, but he hit it very firmly away past Trevor Chappell's left hand. Must be some good attacking strokes like that as well, just to take the initiative away from the fielding side. When the batsmen are doing that, one thing you've got to keep in mind is not to do anything silly, just to try and pick the right ball. Hold him, that's well bowled by Lawson. He's had a good spell there today. Really top-class piece of bowling and thinking there. 3 short balls and then the most perfect Yorker imaginable. 112 for 6 now. Willie goes, bowl Lawson for 8.
And there's no doubt that Jeff Lawson's been the bowler of the day.
Bob Taylor's come in as the non-striker. Ian Botham's taking strike. Well, same treatment. Super shot that. Little loosener from Alderman. .21 to Botham. Vicious, that one. Almost unplayable. And I think Rodney Marsh might even agree.
It's a tremendous delivery. Look at that. Whoops. Bounced. Left him. Tremendous delivery. Just shows that if people bowl straight on here, there's a lot in the wicket to help them.
Good shot, that. Picked that up beautifully. Way past square leg. 35 to Botham now. I think that must go down as a chance. It looked to me from here as though it carried. Skipper Kim Hughes has gone to first slip because Graham Wood's off the field. Just looked as though it might have carried. We can have a look from the other end.
Good delivery, this. Bounce, everything there. And in fact, just 50-50 chance, I would think. Probably pitched just in front of him.
Birthday present there for Dennis Lillee, given by some young admirer down on the fence. And Bob Taylor is off the mark. Field will stay in for Botham now. Gives him the chance to hit away on the offside if he wants to. Lillee's at mid-on, saving the single. Hughes at cover, Chappell at cover point. That's exactly what he wants to do. Number 44 for 6, and Botham has streaked away to 46.
Well, the ball was straight. That was a good idea to stop him scoring, but it was just over-pitched. And it's a lovely straight drive.
A long chase there for Trevor Chappell. That outfield's very fast. Good shot from Bob Taylor from that loosener from Lillee. And he's gone. Rodney Marsh, that was a good catch. He made a lot of ground to that, and I just got a feeling he sensed Kim Hughes wasn't going anywhere near it. And Rodney Marsh took it beautifully away on his right-hand side. Taylor is gone for 5. 148 for 7 now. And there's the old combination again there. Lillee to Marsh. 25% of Marsh's victims have come from Lillee's bowling. Lillee was up there to congratulate him because now Rodney Marsh has equalled Alan Knott's record of 263 dismissals in Test cricket. Marsh 71 Test matches, Knott 93.
And there it is, 53 in Botham. A really fine innings in the circumstances by any standards, but a wonderful sight to see him hitting the ball with the same old freedom, and it really looks as though the shackles have dropped from his shoulders since the burden of captaincy has been lifted from him. And that is, I think I'm right in saying, his first 50 since his first innings as captain at Trent Bridge last year. and Botham perhaps losing a bit of concentration. .36 now needed to avoid the follow-on. And he's gone. Very fine delivery indeed. Botham in that over just losing concentration, and Rodney Marsh appropriately breaks the world wicket-keeping test record off the bowling of Dennis Lillee, who must surely have given him more victims than any other bowler. And out, caught second slip. Thank you very much. Alan Border clinging on. Chris Old not quite in behind it. The ball just lifting and leaving him a fraction, and Alan Border making no mistake, so it looks as though Australia are going to make England follow on. And that'll be 4 off the amount they need. Unorthodox but highly effective. Graham Dilley, who's caused Australia quite a few problems with the willow already in this series. Oh, and that was as if he was doing it in catching practice, and Lillee takes his 4th wicket on his 32nd birthday, so he's another Australian hero, and England have subsided somewhat limply and are almost certain to be asked to follow on, and this a rather strange final dismissal. Dilley perhaps changing his mind in the middle of his shot.
That's a dismal sight for England supporters. Just the one saving grace there, that splendid innings from Ian Botham, where he made 50 in 50 deliveries before he fell to the combination of Marsh and Lillee, the one that served Australia so well over the years. And what a great moment for Rodney Marsh there. He and Lillee have been 2 great cricketers for Australia, fitting that between them they should give Marsh the record of 264 victims to go past Alan Knott. The other England batsmen, the only 2 to impress at all, were Gower and Gatting, and the rest were very much under the thumb of the Australian bowlers. Only 3 of them used, just another indication that you only need 3 quicks, you don't need 4 in a side. Dennis Lillee, 4 for 49, had the best figures in the end, but it wasn't one of Dennis's best days. He was a bit front on in action, and his line and length weren't all that he'd desire. Terry Alderman, 3 for 59, a little bit of rough treatment at Botham's hands, and Lawson, I thought, was the outstanding bowler, 3 for 32 in 13 overs and 3 maidens. So, despite Botham's splendid innings, England failed to save the follow-on by just 28 runs, and quite rightly, Kim Hughes asked them to go in again. We pick up the action now in the first over. It's the first ball. Dennis Lillee is the bowler. Graham Gooch has taken strike. Here's Tom Gravely and Chris Martin-Jenkins.
Lillee, who took 4 wickets in the first innings, didn't bowl terribly well in his opening spell, but he now has 266 test wickets, and that equals Bishan Bedi's haul of test wickets. He's only the 4th highest wicket taker in tests now, those 2 together. And only Gibbs, Truman and Underwood are ahead of Ian Bedi. So one way and another, it's a day of records. Rodney Marsh having taken his 264th victim in tests to become the highest wicket-keeping collector ever. And that's a catch, and a beautifully taken catch by Terry Alderman, diving to his left. And Graham Gooch is out for naught for the 2nd time today, having made only 2 this morning. And Australia have struck in their first innings, and England really are in great disarray here. Lillee finding the edge of Gooch's bat, and Alderman taking an absolute perler of a slip catch, much the best slip catch that has been taken in this game so far.
Just the 1 wicket down there, Graham Gooch, and no wonder he looked disconsolate coming off the field, being very well caught there by Alderman off Lillee's bowling without scoring, and Alderman got him in the first innings, so the young West Australian has had a pretty good match as far as Gooch is concerned. Boycott still not off the mark. And Brearley 4, 6 for 1. And when the players came off for bad light, they were off for 45 minutes up to the scheduled time when the last hour could commence. That was at 6 o'clock. And the umpires came out into the centre with their light meters. The sun was filtering through, which we knew because we could see the shadows being cast by the policemen who were out guarding the pitch and everything. And the umpires then decided sometime between 5 to 6 and 6 o'clock that play could not restart and the extra hour would not come into play. There's quite a bit of commotion around the ground, some very disgruntled spectators. There are a few cushions being thrown on the ground, something that I find most irritating. And I dare say some of the spectators found the fact that there's to be no more play equally as irritating today. But a little later on, one of the umpires, Barry Mayer, came out onto the players' balcony just outside the umpires' room and talked with some of the spectators. I don't think he got a very fair hearing because by that time they were very much fed up.
At 3 minutes to 6, you signal them to put the covers on. At 1 minute to 6, it was like that. Play could have been in progress at 6 o'clock under your rules. Wasn't it? You called play off before 6 o'clock. Now don't tell me that somebody...
I'm writing to Lords,
mate. It may
mate.
have been the other umpire.
I'm writing there, complaining.
Mr. Lister.
It wasn't 6 o'clock when the announcement came out. You give up. You can get them out now.
Well, I tell you one thing.
Hey, come back.
Suffer in the end. And serves them right.
Yeah, you won't see me here again.
Well, perhaps not, but I've no doubt there'll be a lot of other spectators at Test matches. He's a brave umpire who will confront a group of spectators from the outer at sometime after 6 o'clock in the evening. Let me just tell you what I think about the whole affair. I think there's been a misinterpretation of the law. There was one at Lord's, and there was an apology issued later on. I think, again, there's a misunderstanding of the wording of this law. As far as I'm concerned, the wording says that providing conditions are fit for play at 6 o'clock, as was the time tonight, providing conditions are fit for play. It doesn't say that play has to be in progress. It doesn't matter how long it might have taken the players or the umpires to get on. That's my reading of it. Providing conditions are fit for play. And whether or not they were fit for play at 6 o'clock is another matter. But I think the interpretation is where the problem arose here today. So Australia, a stranglehold on this Test match. They've done wonderfully well. Their bowlers, their catchers, well, they put 2 down today, but it didn't matter very much. They weren't vital chances that went down, but their bowlers have performed superbly. Lillee, Alderman and Lawson, full marks to young Lawson, and full marks to Dennis Lillee and Rodney Marsh. What a way for Rodney Marsh to become the greatest wicket-keeping wicket-taker in Test match history.
And he's gone. Very fine delivery indeed. Botham in that over just losing concentration, and Rodney Marsh appropriately breaks the world wicket-keeping Test record off the bowling of Dennis Lillee, who must surely have given him more victims than any other bowler.
One of the most legendary cricket matches now on ESPN Classic.